Welcome to Around Kitsap. In this program on BCAT, we focus on a topic and go in depth on that topic. Joining me today are Kirsten Murray, she's with Kitsap County Department of Human Services, and Tara Zink. Tara works for Trillium. And what we're talking about today is employing people with adults with developmental disabilities. Huge program. Kirsten, tell us about the relationship in the county, the Human Services Department, and how you work with adults with developmental disabilities.
So my program operates under the Human Services Department, and it's just 2 people in our program, and really what our role is to administer the funds that are given to us from the state's Developmental Disability Administration, and those funds are rolled down to the county, and we coordinate those funds to employ people with developmental disabilities in our community. We serve approximately 365 adults with developmental disabilities, and of course, because there's only 2 people in my office, we don't do that ourselves. The county turns around and we contract with 7 agencies who are essentially employment agencies for people with disabilities, and they then provide the direct service. So they're the boots on the ground who actually work directly with the individuals that we serve and with local businesses to make good fits as far as job matches. But ultimately, the goal of my program is to help businesses improve their bottom line through hiring people with developmental disabilities. And Trillium is one of the agencies that the county contracts with.
Kirsten, is it part of your job then to go out and meet business people and talk about the program?
Not necessarily. We leave that up to the experts, which are the agencies that we contract with. My role is more in maintaining a countywide network that involves the Developmental Disabilities Administration, the Division of Vocational Rehabilitation, the county, of course, local school districts, the consumers that we serve. And so we weave this network that supports businesses and the people that they employ through our program.
And it's a great program. It gets young people, middle-aged folks with developmental disabilities working and contributing in the community and making money that goes back into the community. So let's talk about Trillium. Tara, tell us about Trillium. What kind of organization is it?
Yeah, so Trillium is a nonprofit organization that started in 1983 out of King County, and we now contract out of 4 counties. We're in Kitsap County, Clark, Pierce, and King County, and we work with adults and students who have developmental and intellectual disabilities and help them find jobs in the community and get connected to those.
So folks, this is a true public-private partnership. The public is the money, the state money going to the county, and then the private nonprofit. So this is a marriage made in heaven. It is a total cooperation between 2 fabulous agencies, Kitsap County Human Services and Trillium. What just awesome, awesome work. Tell us about the number of folks that Trillium is working with in Kitsap.
So we work with about 80 people right now in Kitsap County, and that number is always changing. We work a lot with students that are getting ready to graduate, so every year we have new students that are coming to us to go out and look for their first job. So right now we serve about 80 people, some who are working and some who are looking for jobs.
How many folks do you work with on a regular basis?
I work with about 12 people on a regular basis, and I work a lot with students, and so it fluctuates depending on kind of at the beginning of the year I work with more as we're getting ready to serve more students going out looking for jobs, and then as they're getting jobs and we're preparing for another round of students to come to us, it'll be fewer people so that I'm able to support people well. Trillium, I think, does a great job of maintaining a number of people that we're working with that we're able to provide really quality supports to the people that we're working with rather than being too stretched to provide really good service to people.
Tara, talk to us about the range of disabilities of folks that are coming to Trillium, or specifically that you're working with.
Yeah, so we Trillium specifically supports people who have long-term supports through DDA. So that means that we're able to not only help people find jobs, but that we're able to help people keep those jobs. So even once they're working independently at their job, we're still able to maintain regular communication and contact with that person and with the business and check in on a regular basis. So we support people specifically who have long-term supports, and that can that looks very different for everybody. So we have some people that maybe just need some social supports on the job, or maybe some people who need very definite accommodations on the job in order to perform it successfully. Maybe some people who have different communication supports that they need, and so we can work creatively with employers to help them figure out how to interview somebody and see what their skill set is going to be. And so it's really a huge range of people, and so what we focus on doing is getting to know somebody and getting to know what their skills and their strengths are, so that we can take those marketable skills and go out to a business and find somebody who has that need to make that quality match.
Did we know about this kind of work in Kitsap County? This is fabulous, fabulous connections that these folks are making. Talk about a job coach. Do all your clients, folks you're working with, have a job coach, or some can go independently and just need to be checked on?
So our goal is, if we're doing our job well, we're hoping to make job placements where people are able to work as independently as possible. So independence definitely looks very different for everybody. Maybe it means that we're working with somebody the first month on their job, and then they're able to perform the job with no supports, and we just check in on a regular basis in case somebody is ever going to learn something new. We can step back in to help with that training, or if anybody needs to be retrained in any specific areas, we can help with that. But sometimes maybe it means that we're just sitting in the next room over. So we always try and focus very much on any amount of independence that we can grant to somebody. So everybody that we work with does have long-term supports, and we're able to provide those long-term services, but it looks very different for everybody.
So I think the important thing is the communication piece between Trillium, yourself, and employers. So there's success, and success is communication. What does the county look for when they're partnering with an agency?
Well, we have a qualification process that we go through on a regular basis to recruit qualified agencies who are adept at providing these skills. And so we have 7 agencies right now, so we feel that offers our clients a choice. Each agency is a little different in how they approach, or perhaps special populations that they serve. So I think we've got a broad base for a consumer, say, to maybe sample a couple of different agencies, or if someone is not happy with one, to always switch to another. But I think over the years we've got a very strong network of agencies. So our agencies have been working here in Kitsap County since the 70s. So there's a lot of history here.
Wow. Is there an advisory board, Kirsten, and who's on the advisory board, and how do they support this work?
So we have a volunteer advisory board that are approved by the county commissioners, and it is individuals who have an interest in the field of developmental disabilities. So for instance, right now our board chair is a person who has an adult daughter with a developmental disability who is served by Holly Ridge. We have individuals on our board who are educators that work in the special ed system, who are other parents of individuals with developmental disabilities. We have an individual on our board who experiences developmental disability. So we have people who are very experienced in the field, but also on a personal level have benefited from our services and truly understand what it means to be independent and self-sufficient.
Excellent, excellent. So there's businesses out in the community that are hopefully going to see this piece and might go, I think I need to talk to somebody, and maybe I could employ a person with developmental disabilities. Where would they start? Would they start with Trillium? Would they start with the county?
They could start either place, and so there's details about our program on the county website.
Perfect.
Under the Human Services page.
Great.
But also any one of our providers can be contacted directly, and that information is on our website.
Kirsten, tell us about the economics of this program, the dollars in this community to individuals, to the community. Tell us about that.
Well, I think the funding really comes full circle. Of course, we're supported from the state, so it's money that comes from the federal government as well as taxpayer dollars from the state of Washington. That's funneled down to the county, where we then contract with employment providers who hire people to work in the community. But I think most folks would find it interesting that last year, in the previous 12 months, individuals who are supported by Kitsap County Developmental Disabilities Employment Program earned approximately $1 million in wages. Those wages were then pretty much turned right around and spent at local businesses in our community. And I think it surprised me at how much economic impact our individuals have.
Tremendous. Tremendous. Thank you so much for the work you're doing in our community. Kirsten, thank you for keeping it all together and really beating the drum to the state and that funding. Very, very important. We're going to meet the star of our show, Christina, in our next segment, so stay with us. We'll be right back around Kitsap. Welcome back to Around Kitsap. Chris is the star of the show today. It's all about Chris's jobs and her placement in the community. Chris, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Isn't she's just got this great outfit on. She's just happy. Chris, you went to Bainbridge Island High School. And how did you get into this program of getting a job as a young adult?
Bob helped me through getting me this job at the hospital.
Barb Brewis.
Bob Bruce helped me with the job at the hospital.
Great.
So she's the one that helped me fill out the applications and all that stuff.
Excellent. And Barb Brewis is Bainbridge Island High School, works with developmentally disabled young adults and placing them in the community. So then did Barb introduce you to Kirsten?
Yes, and then that's how we got my job.
And then that's how you got your job.
My first job at Harrison.
Your very first job at Harrison. Tell us what you do at Harrison
So
Hospital.
I work in the sleep disorder center. So I do patient packets, patient charts, data entry, pulling charts, dictations, sanitizing, whatever else they may need.
Whatever they need. So Chris is so energetic and so interested in working that she got a second job.
Yes, I do.
And your new job is with who?
The Connection Credit Union in Silverdale.
And look at her smile when she talks about that. And what kind of work do you do there?
So I do, not patient customer packets, filming, whatever else.
Whatever else.
Else
I bet they're nice people to
They are
work with.
So nice.
Wow, you're busy.
I am
So
busy.
then tell us, when you're not working, what do you do?
For my free time, I just do whatever I want to do.
Volunteer a little bit?
Volunteer a little bit. I help in the community. I do the MS walk. I help with the MS walk. I do IVC, which is Interfaith Volunteer Caregivers. I help people shop. I help my neighbors out, whatever they may need.
Sounds like you have a pretty nice life.
I do.
She's got a great life. So when you get your paycheck, I bet you feel pretty darn good.
Oh, I do. And it goes right into that bank.
Does it? Always
Yes, it
good.
does.
That's the most important thing. Pay yourself first.
Yes.
Pay yourself first. And then what kind of things do you like to do with your mad money, your spending
I like to
money?
go on vacation and get ice mochas. That's all I like to do.
So you've had some pretty nice vacations.
Yes, we have. We've
Tell
gone
us where
to
you've gone.
Hawaii.
Nice.
We've gone to Forks. We've gone to the Oregon coast.
Nice.
We've gone a lot of nice places.
So what's interesting in Forks?
We just did a nice drive up there before we went to the other place.
Oregon coast?
No, not the Oregon coast. Where you see the glaciers. Not Alaska.
Oh,
It went blank.
whatever.
It
Yeah.
went blank. Sorry.
So Forks was interesting to you. A friend of mine just drove out there. It's pretty far.
It's very nice.
It's beautiful.
Nice
It is
beaches.
beautiful.
Nice everything.
Yeah, great. So you also like to buy yourself some clothes, and you're a very thrifty shopper.
Yes, I am.
Chris helps on the Bainbridge Island Rotary Garage Sale, or what do they call it? Rummage sale?
Rummage sale.
Rummage sale. And if you know anything about it, they have really nice
They
things.
have from clothes to books to baby things to you name it, they have it.
That's awesome. How do you get to work, Chris?
I take the access bus. So the access bus is a transportation that I take, and it is door-to-door service. It takes me picks me up from my house to work, from work back to home, or to wherever else you want, to a doctor's appointment, to the grocery store, to you name it, they might take you there.
That's nice. And are they pretty reliable?
Yes.
You count when you
When
say
I call them, they're on it.
That's awesome. That is so awesome. So Chris, what do you like best about working, either at your Harrison job or your credit union job? What's the best?
Just the people, the environment. everything. I love it. It's just one of my things.
Yeah, you're a people person.
I am.
And you're a very fashionable person. I've been admiring your glasses.
Thank you.
Those are really cool. Chris is an awesome member of our community and contributes through her work at Kitsap, our Connection Credit Union and Harrison Medical Center. You are a joy, and I bet you have lots of friends at work, and we're going to have to tell them all to tune in and watch on TV.
Yes.
You just did a fabulous job. We just heard from Kirsten and Tara, who you work with very closely, and we want to thank them for their efforts on your behalf and on behalf of the 80 plus, 365 plus people like yourselves that are working in our community and being supported through Trillium and Kitsap County. Now, in our next segment, we're going to meet Scott Pryor. Scott is Chris's boss at the credit union, and we're going to hear from him next. We'll be right back around Kitsap. Welcome back to Around Kitsap. We're talking to the employer now, one of Chris's employers. It is the Connections Credit Union, and with me is Scott Pryor, their president and CEO. Welcome, Scott.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about the credit union. Where are you located?
We have our main office in Silverdale, and we got started in 1958 by City of Bremerton employees. So we were originally the City of Bremerton Employees Credit Union, and over the years we added Kitsap County as a part of our field of membership, and then in the last 10 years we can now serve anyone who lives, works, or worships in Kitsap County.
Excellent. Credit unions are very strong and a very good option for folks. What's your background, Scott?
I've been in banking for 20 some years and have been a CEO of this credit union for the last 4 years, and it's a great community, it's a great credit union, and we're excited to be growing in the Kitsap community.
That's great. So they have their main branch in Silverdale, they have a branch in Bremerton at our main fire station on Park Avenue, and also in Port Orchard at the Given Center. So any of those locations should be able to serve you.
Yep.
Great company, corporation, and proud to be a member of the credit union. So Scott, tell us about why you hired Chris. What was important there?
Well, the timing was good. I had heard from Jennifer, who works at Trillium, and she actually used to work for the credit union a few years back.
Nice.
And we've been really growing lately, and we needed to add some employees. And she just mentioned it, and I thought, why not? It makes perfect sense. We need someone that can come in and help with the filing, the filming, photocopying, making membership packets. So we thought it just seemed like a really good fit, and we interviewed a couple candidates and selected Chris, and it's been a great fit so far.
That's so great. What is it about Chris that seemed like a good fit for the Connections Credit Union?
She really just can come in and stay focused on the task and get stuff done. And we really need that, our employees, to be able to just get things done. And she does a great job of it.
That is really great. Scott, what would you say to other businesses in our area as far as hiring folks with disability?
It's worked out really well for us, and I say why not? She stays focused, and we have some set duties for her, and she really does a good job with it, so why not?
Why not? Why not try it? Get in touch with the county or through Trillium and try placing a person with developmental disabilities. Everyone benefits.
Absolutely.
Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And thanks for joining us around Kitsap. We'll see you next time.